see some buildings, and if you look back towards the hills there, you can see the city of Naples. And now the Tyrrhenian Sea on your right, the Vesuvius. Some part of the top is covered in the clouds, but you can have a good look at how beautiful the coast is here. And the cities of Amalfi, Sorrento, they will be just down the coast over there. Really beautiful now with the sun. Definitely, as I said, guys, believe me, this is one of the most interesting parts of Italy. Naples has been a settlement for 1,000 years, because before being Roman, Naples was founded by the Greeks with the name of Neapolis, new city. So when the Greeks arrived in the south of Italy, they founded this city, and they called it the Neapolis, the new city, Naples. That's how we still, even in English, you call it the Neapolitan people. And now it's become the third biggest city in Italy, a huge port. If you come on the Mediterranean for a cruise, you'll stop in Naples, because it's one of the biggest cruise harbors that we have in the Mediterranean. Again, the Mount Vesuvius, and parts of it completely surrounded by vineyards. Oops, seagulls, very close to the windscreen. And we just passed the city of Herculaneum. So not only Pompeii was buried in 79 AD, but also Herculaneum, which is less famous. You need to think that Pompeii is one of the top 3 most visited sites of Italy. In the last years, figures were usually about 2,500,000 people visit this place on a yearly basis. So imagine the impact on the site, because okay, it's an archaeological site which is fairly recent. If you think it only been discovered in the 16th century, however, been still there standing for 2,000 years. So the Italian authorities are trying to push the publicity on Herculaneum a bit more in order to spread the impact of the visitors across the 2 sites. However, Pompeii is such a famous site that, you know, whenever you mention Pompeii, most people will know that you're talking about the eruption of the volcano and the site that we'll be able to see later. But both the cities were very similar, so very similar background, same towns of wealthy people at the height of empire. So they're very similar. Actually, in Italian, we always say the both together. So we always say Pompeii and Herculaneum to mean an eruption, something like a disaster, a tragedy. Well, in English, probably in the English world, Pompeii is definitely more famous. It's been depicted in films. The band the Pink Floyd had a very important live here in Pompeii in the Roman amphitheater that you guys will see. So imagine to see like a rock gig with visuals, and they were ahead of their time with projection, bass at night in the Roman amphitheater. It was absolutely breathtaking. It's like a milestone of the rock history when they played here in the late, I think it was the late 60s. So they were towards the end before, they split. Look at this now on your right, still the coast. It's beautiful, and very interesting work for the engineering industries. You have to create these really small roads going up the coast, because there is no flat part in this part of the coast. It's all like rock, right straight to the sea. So there's a lot of tunnels, very interesting little roads, where you will see basically there's just enough space for a car. So it's very slow driving there. You have to sort of stop when you go towards a turn, because you don't know who's coming next. So usually drivers, they ask the passengers to go out to check no one's coming so they can drive. It's really interesting. Scooters, of course, are the winners in this area. because they can get around more easily. And also because of the long-standing relation with the sea, there's a strong tradition of coral work. So in this area you'll find artisans who comes from families who've been working coral for centuries, and they produce the most amazing cameos, so little medals or badges or something that you can put around your neck, worked by hand, working the coral that is taken from the sea, just across here on the right. So if you guys are thinking, is usually one of the things most popular souvenirs of the area, a coral piece, a cameo from Pompeii. This is an area which has got a lot of artisans, workshops working the fine arts of cameos. So you will see this old style miniature work around like a very small area. Imagine like something like just the size of your thumb, representing, like, usually there's a scene from like 1900 with the ladies, because usually very popular with the Italian ladies. So very interesting, such a specific art. You will only find it here in this area, since the coast of Naples, the Bay of Naples, and the islands that you can see now just across the horizons are full of coral underneath the waters, very clear waters. Beautiful, beautiful to come back in the summer. And so once we guys get down, we're gonna get down quite soon, I will take you by the meeting point. That's where we're gonna meet our guide. And then I'll probably, if you have time, I hope I'll give you some more time to use the restrooms before the visit in a hotel restaurant. That's where we're gonna have the lunch, and then we can join the trip. Some of you have asked for ATM machines. There is one by the archaeological site. I will double check with the guy that's working. There's only two in by the entrance of the archaeological site. So they're usually very popular because they're the only two around. So sometimes early in the morning they already run out of money. So I'm sure we'll find some